Hello, you're welcome to my channel, and I hope you all are doing all right. Today I'm just going to be diving straight into the topic that we have, but before I do that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has commented, shared and liked my video, which is basically a follow-on from this one, the video about how my son got healed from vitiligo. So that's just a follow-on video. Thank you for all the wonderful comments that I've received there. They've been like a blessing. They've been a blessing to me, and just I've just felt like part of a family when I listen to people's testimonies and people's prayer requests and people's confession based on that video. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much for taking time to share with me your thoughts, and for those who have come back with testimonies, thank you so much as well. I know that all things are possible with God. So I so much appreciate it, and I love reading your comments, and I spend my time take my time to kind of respond to every single comment that I get on that video and my other videos. So thank you so much for that. Now this video is just a follow-on from that video, and in this video I'm just responding to some of the questions that I got from that video. Now one of the questions that I got people asking me, what do I do and what do I use for Holy Communion? What did I use for Holy Communion for my son when he was in that situation? So I'm just going to be showing you the things that I did and things that I used, and of course, you know, they were effective, but I'm just going to be showing you those things because I think I've got so many questions around that. Now, the things that I use that I think that are quite, for me, I tend to go for materials, and well, I tend to go for food items that are within my reach, or something that I'm not going to be spending a lot of money to source and to buy. Now you can buy a lot of Holy Communion on the market. You can buy Holy Communion on the market from Amazon, the ones that have already been pre-packed. You can buy those from Amazon. But for me, I just went for things that are quite easy and within my reach. And I prayed for them and I blessed them. And I know that anything that you consider to be communion for you, I believe, and once you bless it and you pray over it, I believe that God, that is acceptable to, and I think that God will also honor that. So straight on, the key thing, or the key one that I used was, I just used bread. Okay, so with me here I've just got normal bread. Yeah, so this is just a slice of bread. I just use this and I cut out a little chunk from it, not a big chunk, just a little bit I cut out of it. And then I use blackcurrant. So if you've got blackcurrant, double strength or single strength, I use blackcurrant or anything that I have that kind of depicts blood, right? So the moment I've got shula, if I have shula, I don't tend to use shula that much because it's not something that I buy often, but I just don't have blackcurrant at the moment. But I tend to use anything that is within the range of this color, which looks like blood. So for me, blackcurrant was my go-to. I just buy the double strength blackcurrant and I just mix that a little quantity, and I use that for Holy Communion. But I just wanted to use this to show you the color, what I mean by the color of drink that I use for Holy Communion. So I just tip a bit of blackcurrant in a cup, and then a slice of a tiny cut of bread, and we use that for Holy Communion. Now I also use, for any reason, if I have run out of bread for any reason, I just use biscuits, dry plain biscuits. I don't use any biscuits that have got chocolate in them or anything, just dry plain biscuits. And this is just rich tea, so I just tend to buy a rich tea biscuit, packet of rich tea biscuit, and I keep that. Well, we don't eat biscuits much in my house. Well, I try to eat healthy, and also let my children eat healthy, so it's not something that I tend to keep in my house a lot. But if I've run out of bread, which we tend to have bread most times, if I've run out of bread, I'll just get biscuits, and I use dry biscuits, and I use that. But most times it's bread I tend to use. I just cut a little chunk of the bread, and then I give that to him. I pray over it with a squash, and I give that to him. Now another thing that I use as well when I have it is the Holy Communion slices that my husband gets from Nigeria. So this he buys this from Nigeria. I think some shops, some church do sell this in their bookstore or any of their stores, but he gets this from Living Faith Church because we both attend Living Faith when we go back to Nigeria. So he buys this from the Living Faith church store, and it's just like wafers, but these are within the shape, and they've kind of like, so this is specifically for Holy Communion. So he buys this sometimes and he comes back. It's a full tub. He buys it and he brings it back from Nigeria, and then I also use this when I have it, when it's available. I use this, and then of course I combine it with a squash. So this is also what I use for communion if it is there. Now also I went online on Amazon and I also found the pre-packed one from Amazon. Now this one has got the little wafer there, and then you've got the cup. It is quite expensive. When I looked on Amazon, it is quite expensive. So for instance, I got this packet of six communion cups, pre-packed communion cups, for £9.99. So basically that's £10 for 6 in here. So this is quite expensive. But if for instance you have you don't have the time, or you just want something that's already been packed and put together, ready to go, and you can afford to keep buying it, then you can go ahead and buy this one. They've got, I think they've got a pack of 100 and a pack of 50 and a pack of 20, but as I said, they are quite on the expensive side. So I just tend to go for the cheap ones, things that I know that I can always find and is within reach. Now this is what my church as well uses. My church uses the pre-packed ones for communion. So you've got options that you can use to for communion. As I said, you just pray over them, you bless them, and of course read a scripture that has to do with communion, and that is it. And that is what I give to my son every single day. In fact, sometimes he will even remind me, "Oh, mommy, when are we going to have communion?" So he used to remind me sometimes. So this were the things I did. So for those who have been asking, what did you use? What are the things that you do for communion? That's just it. That's just what I do. And as I said, my go-to thing was bread and squash, blackcurrant squash. Those two were my go-to items, and those I use consistently for the amount of time I did for my son. Now, I hope that has been helpful, and I hope that has answered some of those questions, people who asked what I used for Holy Communion for my son. If you've got any more questions, you've got any more comments, please feel free to leave it down below in the comment section, and I will attend to those as soon as I can. Well, do have a fantastic evening. Thank you, and bye.